you're seeing and hearing what I'm doing. So we're going to talk about establishing a super user program. It's the ups, the downs, and the surprises. So a little about me. I am a community manager at SAS. We are a software company. Today is actually my 18th anniversary at SAS. I've had a couple of different roles there, all leading up to being a community manager. Um, so let's jump right into the super user program. You can visit us at communities.sas.com. We have three different super user programs, and I want to explain those a little bit. Super users are the top tier, the cream of the cream, cream of the crop. Those are few and far between, and you'll find that in many communities. Proc stars are our next level down. Uh, they're still great, but they're not super users. And then super freaks. Those are SAS employees. You'll see we're playing with some technology terms here because we are a software company. So we're playing off of procedures and frequency and that sort of thing. So 3 tiers that I'm going to go through, and I'm going to give you a little insight into why we did what we did, how we did it, and what we learned along the way. By the numbers, our program is exclusive. You can see the breakdown here. February 2016. Our new kind of platform kicked off in 2015, and we kind of put an emphasis around community at that time with a team. That was 2015. We waited a full year before we launched any kind of super user program. Um, and we did it incrementally. We started off with only super users, then we moved to proc stars, and we're kind of running those two concurrently along with our super freaks. Talk a little bit about how we picked what we picked, the folks that we picked. That's not the purpose of this presentation, but um, it's data. It's objective information as well as subjective. So clearly, we looked at days in the community, accepted solutions, um, likes that they received. But we also looked at the quality of the messages that our community members were posting. How helpful were they? Were they posting content that we needed? So we had one super user, um, not huge in accepted solutions, not huge in likes and things like that, but they posted articles, library in our TKB. We really wanted to start that program with user generated content. Mostly it had been employees posting. We really wanted our community members to post. So this particular super user did that, and we felt it was worthy of putting him in the super user program because he was kind of a mentor in that area. So objective and subjective. That's how we chose the folks that we chose. Once we picked them, communication. We needed a way to talk to them. Certainly, we could email them, but then, GDPR rules and compliances, we didn't want to share email addresses. So we set up a private board, and we called it the Community Super Users, and we share information there. Oh gosh, there's a lot of difficulties going here. You guys are not seeing my slides as they're refreshing. I am just realizing that. All right, we're going to go here and see if you can see slides now. Okay. Just gotta love what's going on here. All right, we're gonna we're gonna go through here. Let's catch up. All right, Commu- communicating. Um, Private board. This is a place for them to talk to each other, for us to talk to them, and it's key. Again, that lends to the exclusivity. The other thing that we did, in addition to communication, is giving them responsibilities and privileges. And you all know that those responsibilities and privileges are really designed to help us out. As community members, that's what it is. It's helping us. So we have, we studied what they were doing. We studied what the community members were doing, and they were already recommending edits to subject lines. They were commenting in within the thread saying, change your subject line from help to include the product name or the subject area that you're talking about. They were recommending that post be moved. We have multiple boards within our community. They're product specific, solution specific. So they were recommending, hey, it's better in this area. So we saw what they were doing and we gave them those privileges to be able to move a post, edit a post, feature it. It made the super users feel a part of the community. And that was key. They took ownership of it because truly we could not do what we do without them. Our community members are global in nature. We are based in North Carolina in the United States. Our super users are around the world. So when we're sleeping, we have members in Australia, New Zealand, India who are keeping the community running for us. So let's jump into what I wanted to talk about, what we learned along the way in setting up this super user program that's been using now for 4 years. Let's start with the positive, the ups. Uh, what the image you see on the left here, it's a stock image. It's kind of our superhero. Jacob mentioned earlier that community managers are superheroes, and that's true. Hey, we are, but members are also um, superheroes. So when we sign up a super user, we sent a form out to them and we said, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us your likes, your dislikes, what you professionally you're doing, what you're doing on the outside. And we sent them gifts along the way with their term. So the image on the right is one of our super users who received a midterm gift of an athletic shirt. Um, Luckily, it sort of matched the blue of our stock image there. He staged his own photo shoot, um, took it, took a photo, posted it on social media, and didn't tell us about it. We just happened to see it. So that was a huge surprise, a huge win for us. He's promoting the communities with an image, and it became, sort of the image on the community board for a while. Other other ups were, again, social media love. We did not ask for any of this. The community members just did it. The three of the images you see here with the pins, um, a welcome gift that we sent to the super users. It's an executive pin. It's wooden. It's made out of one of our original buildings on campus, which is we have a campus that's 40 plus years old. Um, a letter signed by our CEO, which our customers love our CEO. So for them to get a personally signed letter from the CEO with a package with an executive pen that's similar to one that he has, um, they ran with it. They loved it. They talked about it on social media. Uh, the image there with the baseball hat. Um, Out of that form, we found out some of their personal likes. So, as a thank you at the end of their term, we sent them a gift. This particular gentleman liked to run, so we sent him a baseball hat. Again, he promotes it on social media. Here's an image. This particular woman, um, huge in the communities, super user, collected all of her swag and posted it and tagged SaaS communities. It was great for us. Again, none of this we asked for. All of this was a great promotion for us. Another win for us is global recognition. When we were when we were doing live events, um, we have an annual international conference of users. Um, this was opening night. On the main stage, super users were recognized. This was about 3 years ago. So you see, we had 18 super users at the time. They were all recognized in front of 4 to 5,000 folks in the audience. Um, our director of tech support spent a minute or two talking about them. Huge win for us. But it wasn't all positive. Um, the downs, you know, we sent an invitation to join the programs. Who wouldn't want to be part of a super user or a Procstar program? Clearly, a few people didn't. So we were rejected. They did not want to participate in our program. Okay. Unexpected, but okay. Everyone had their own reasons. Another down that was unexpected was employee responsibilities changing. We anticipated customers leaving jobs, changing, um, heaven forbid, not using our software anymore. But some of those super freaks, some of those employees, um, their jobs changed. So they couldn't participate in the communities anymore. And so as one of my colleagues says, we had to defrock them. We had to remove them from the SaaS super freak role because, again, people really relied on those replies from super freaks, and it needed to have a meaning. Surprises. It is almost impossible to catch a super user. I mean, we knew they were the best of the best, clearly. Um, But there had to be some folks that were close to them, right? That's why we kinda set up that mid-tier program. After about a year and a half, we saw we're running out of super users, but there's room for growth. There's that middle tier, and there is room for growth, but there's a big difference. This was last year, just 2 data points I pulled on what I call the lowest super user, but truly still a phenomenal number, but they had the lowest engagement. Almost 400 solutions authored, 25,000 pages viewed. The best or the highest Procstar, 75 solutions authored and 16,000 pages viewed. Absolutely incredible numbers, but it doesn't compare to a super user. That's why we have these distinctions. That's why people on our community call out super users to help them answer questions because they blow away all the other users. Another surprise is just how strong that internal desire is. Um, we give out badges and swag and recognition, and they like it, and they come to events again when we can have them and pick up their swag, and they like it. But that's not why they do it. I feel like we could do away with most of that and they would still do it. And this is evidenced. This isn't specific to super users, but we did a wrap up email very early this year. telling folks about their activity in 2019. And it was pretty easy to pull together. We talked about, the new topics and the solutions that they authored and that sort of thing, and just gave them some kudos for their activity. And in turn, we got so many thank you notes for something that was so simple to do. Um, they didn't get anything physical, they just got a thank you from us. Um, and then we got many, many thank yous in return for them. So huge. Let's kind of work toward wrapping this up with some lessons learned. First one, square pegs don't fit in round holes. And what I mean by that is our team spent a year um, studying super user programs, 2015 to 2016. Read about them, looked at what was going on out there. When we first launched our super user program, it looked a lot different than it does now. We had 6-month terms, where now we have 1-year terms. We didn't give them as many privileges because we found out that some of the best practices out there didn't fit our needs, didn't fit with our members. So we tweaked it. We made it what we needed it to be. Um, and we tweaked it by listening to our community members. I surveyed them. I sent out a survey monkey and I said, "How's it going? What does this program mean to you? How effective has it been? What can we do differently?" And those super users, those proc stars, those super freaks gave us feedback, and we use that to make the program better. We lean on them, and I encourage you, if you have the type of community that you can do that, lean on your super users to fill out your team. We are fortunate in that we have, by industry standards, a pretty large community team. Um, we're not um, we're not struggling to get the work done with only 1 or 2 team members. We're fortunate that way, but we're all based in North Carolina, and so these super users, these proc stars, they do the work for us when we're at home with our families. We come in on a weekly basis and find at mentions, private messages, emails from the super users and the proc stars letting us know we need to pay attention to something in the community, or calming down new community members who are trying desperately to get something from us. And someone in a super user in Australia will say, "It's okay. The team will be back in first thing Eastern time and they'll get to you." So they help us so much. And the final lesson learned is it truly does not take much to make them happy. As I said, the swag, the gifts, that pen, the shirts, the personal gifts. We've sent pieces of pottery. We've sent coffee table books based on the questionnaire that people fill out. The image here on the right, that collection of pens with our logo on it. One of our super users happened to mention in an email to me that he collected our company pens. Wherever he went, whatever training center he might be in or conference, he tries to pick up a pen. So, as his year end gift, I reached out to our company, to all employees, and said, "If you have a pen lying around on your desk that you're not using, I don't really care if it's an old one, new one, current logo, old logo, send it to me. I have a customer who collects them. These are the pens that I collected, mailed out to him. It cost us nothing other than postage and me a few minutes to send a note out on Yammer and ask for pens." And it thrilled him. We got a wonderful email back. I believe he posted on social media about it. Didn't take much to make him happy. Some data points. We've talked about super users all throughout this program and the exclusivity of them. What what have they done for us? So this is activity from 2019. 46 people solved over 4,000 of our topics. That's a quarter of our topics in 2019. They exchanged a third of the messages. A third of the total messages on our community were exchanged by these 46 people. Um, we couldn't do what we do without them. It's huge. So, finally, I just want to remind you that communities connect people. It's not about usernames, it's not about IP addresses, it's none of that. The image you see here was at one of our live events, opening session. We have some reserved seating for them for super users. These folks had not met each other. They knew each other by their usernames on the community. They hadn't talked to each other. They sat down. They talked before the opening session, after the opening session, and we saw them all throughout the conference talking to each other, gathering at our booth, talking. So remember, whatever program you set up for super users, at the end of the day, you're connecting people. Some of them are more active than others, but it's all about people. So that is kind of the end. I have 4 minutes. I'm going to stop sharing so actually go over here and see what some of the activity is going on and see if there are questions. Yeah, I see some folks. You have 35 users who answer 37% of the questions in your community. You're right, Nicole. Super user programs are key. We could not do what we do without them. That reserved seating. Oh wow, someone declined to sit there. That's perfectly okay. I think we had one or two super users who didn't join us as well. Um, it's one of those things. It's personal, just like the experience on a community is personal. Um, so that's why it's all there. That's why it's let's see, VIP bloggers. Yeah, Marissa, that's a great thing. The premium seating, VIP bloggers for the conference. That was a great idea. We've toyed around with expanding the program and allowing them. We do have some blogging capability. Tracy, I see here. How much information do you share with your super users? Are you frank about company plans or what's coming soon? We share a lot with our super users. We have webinars with them occasionally. We give them usually maybe a 24, 48-hour heads up um, with them. We're pretty frank about what's coming, what's working, what's not working. We will let them talk with R&D, talk with tech support. So it's and they appreciate it. How do you handle a super user that on occasion has a bad day? Oh wow, that has happened. We have had a few you know, cranky super users. And we talk to them offline with an email, um, acknowledge that people have a bad day. We encourage them, like, if someone is bothering you, if you're going to get testy in a communication, in a reply with someone, just ignore it. You don't need to always reply. So, yeah, it happens. How do you motivate super users? I think I have 1 minute. How do you motivate super users outside of giving away free swag? A thank you, really. a thank you is a huge motivation to them, and letting them know that they have access to you. Let them know that you're open to hearing what they have to say, good, bad, or indifferent. Again, I don't think the swag really matters to our super users. A genuine thank you and genuine conversation. That's huge. Opinionated super users. I'll answer this last one, but kind of going in different direction of what we want. That happens. We've seen that happen a time or two. We will come in with our own opinion and um, try to come to a compromise. Let them know that there are differing ideas about things. So, thank you, everyone. I am so very sorry for all of the technical difficulties. I hope it was at least valuable. Mac and Jacob have my slides, and one way or the other, you'll get to see everything. Take care, everyone.